Good day to all students of the Caraga State University. I am now presenting with you the introduction of economics. So I am your professor, Associate Professor 5 of the Caraga State University. So I'm in Bhutan City. So I have my cell number, my email ad. So if you have some comments and problems, you can text me or you can email me. Okay, to start with, so I'm talking first with economics, scarcity and choice. Because talking about economics, in simple definition, economics is there to study to allocate natural scarce resources to maximize satisfaction of human needs and wants. But whereas scarcity, that is the shortage of supply to the market and the choice. So a good definition of economics shall be the study of choice under conditions of scarcity. Meaning, economics is study of choice under conditions of scarcity. So that's why the scarcity now, according to the demand and supply, the supply is very much lesser compared to the demand. Now, but in economics discipline, even the supply is very minimal, but people are happy to consume the supply. So, in scarcity, a situation in which the amount of something available is insufficient satisfy the desire for it. So, meaning, available is insufficient. So, meaning the availability of supply is insufficient to satisfy the desire for it. Why people is called satisfied with the time of scarcity because of uh, choices. There are unlimited variety of scarcities. However, they are all based on two basic limitations. So scarce time, scarce spending power, limitation force each of us to make choices. So meaning the first variety of scarcities, that is scarce time. So in scarce time, to produce something, the factor is time. For example, agricultural land. Agricultural products, sorry. For agricultural products now, you cannot say that you can produce a production in that much time because there's a lot of factors, like for example, the situation of the time, situation of the weather condition. So scarce spending power. So meaning scarce spending power, it refers to the put as the financial support and the power of the LGU. Like for example, in the Philippines, so the Philippines now, the Filipinos are producing something in its place without the called as the support o kaya the support is lacking support and also there's no proper planning. Not unlike the other countries now. Producing an agricultural land or product, it depends on the as the scenario. For example, Agusan del Norte is much more in uh, rice o kaya mango, so meaning you produce mango. In Agusan del Sur, you produce called as the rice. It depends on the situation of the land. So limitation force each of us to make choices. So meaning the choices now is limited. So meaning the question is simply why there's scarcity happen. So meaning there's scarcity because people has no limitations. So to make it put us happy of the put us the scarcity, we will make the item available and make choices and enjoy it. So the third one is economists study choices we make as individuals and consequences of those choices. So next, economists also study more subtle and indirect effects of individual choice in our society. So scarcity and social choice. So the problem for society is scarcity of resources. So meaning the sources like for example, land, labor, capital. That is the problem of society of producing something. So for example, the people want to produce rice, but the the land is cultivated by that person is very minimal. That's why the production is not enough to provide more. Scarcity of labor, so time human beings spend producing goods and services. So meaning to us as Filipino, the son and daughter of a farmer after graduation in college, they don't want to work land uh, because they have experience in farming and also they want to work in as an office worker. So scarcity of capital. So meaning you have lack of capital. The government now has no totally support. Like for example, in rice production in Agusan del Norte, so or Butan City, there is a land sorted for rice, but there is no water. So meaning the support of government, like for example NIA, so the support is not sufficient. So something producing that is long lasting and used to make other things that we value. So human capital, so capital stock, so the other one is scarcity of land. So look at this if you're going to uh, divide the, the people and the land now in the Philippines is more than 30 million hectares. But the people in the Philippines, registered people in the Philippines is more than 100 million. So meaning that the land is not enough. So physical space on which production occurs and the natural resources that come with it. Scarcity of entrepreneurship. So meaning the farmers in the Philippines is purely a farmers. Supposedly the farmers should be an entrepreneur. So after producing an item, after producing the agricultural product, so meaning the farmers should convert into a business and then they can make okay get a higher profit. So meaning the farmers today is not an entrepreneur, meaning the middleman is making money from the farmers. So ability and willingness to combine the other sources into productive enterprise. So for example, if you're producing rice, so meaning do not sell rice but you sell bibingka, you sell poto. So that's put as entrepreneurship manner. A society, our resources, land, labor, and capital are insufficient to produce all the goods and services you might desire. So, in other words, society faces a scarcity of resources. So, I've said we have scarcity of land, labor, and capital of the farmers. Next, scarcity and economics. The scarcity of resources and the choices of forces as to make it the source of all the problems studied in economics. So, household allocate limited income among goods and services. So, meaning the household, Filipino household, having a limited income. So, meaning the budget the money and then provide the needs. So, meaning the provision of the needs is not, sometimes it's not enough to the needs of the members of the family because the income of the household parents is not enough. Business firm choices of what to produce and how much are limited by cost of production. So meaning by a choice of what to produce, so meaning in a certain locality, you ask what kind of products or goods that they're going to. That's why after determining the kind of products in the society, you may produce it. So meaning, but the producing of products, you must study what kind of product. So if the people living in that area as poor as poor as poorer, so meaning the product is not totally durable, kaya totally not high quality. But the people living in that area are uh, wealthy, we have a good job, so meaning they can afford to buy a good product, so meaning you provide a good product. Say for example, there's an item in the Philippines from China. So meaning people says that China product is not good. But if you buy something, China products in Japan, China products in Canada, China products in America, China products in Middle East is high quality. Why high quality? Because the price is high. Because people can buy the product. But whereas in the Philippines, only few can buy the high quality products. Most of the people cannot buy the products. That's why to make it profitable by the Chinese, they produce low quality of products so that the people can afford to buy. Like for example, during the Christmas Day, so many they produce three for 100. So many three Christmas lights. It's only 100 pesos. So mean the quality is not good. But if you are in Japan, so when the products of China can compete with Japanese products, the the products of China in Canada can compete with Canada products. So meaning it depends on the kind of people. So government agencies work with limited budgets and most carefully those with goals to pursue. So meaning government agencies work with limited budget. So meaning limited budget. So how to budget the limited one? Like for example, the budget today for 2021 that is more than 3 trillion, 3 trillion plus. So 3 trillion plus. So meaning the that particular budget is not called as sufficient to the needs of the Filipino. So meaning you cannot make good budget, you cannot make a lot of budget because our source of income is not totally large. Next, economics study this decision to explain how our economic system works. So forecast the future of our economy. So what particular future of the economy? So is that good future? Okay, bad future. So it depends on the government officials. Suggest ways to make the future even better. So economics they are divided into two. First is the microeconomics. So meaning microeconomics from the Greek words micros, meaning small. So meaning small, for like example household. Household you have an income, but the income you budget the income, buy something. So that is pretty micro. So meaning the study of individual household that is microeconomics. So in the microeconomics, study of behavior of individual households, firms, and government. So meaning by agencies, like for example, Bukal City Agency, that is a government agency. So that is considered micro because they use the money for government of Butuan. So like for example, for the household, so many if you have an income, so many use that money for the family. So it is the main interaction in specific market. Next is focuses on individual parts of the of an economy rather than the whole. For the macroeconomic, so meaning macro comes from Greek words macros, meaning large. So meaning in terms of macroeconomics, study the economy as a whole. So meaning the Philippine government now is studying the income of the Philippines. So that is aggregation of income. So like agriculture, mining, fishery. Industry, so meaning when you total all the income, so that is the macro income of the country. So meaning the in terms of budgeting, so meaning the budget now is by agencies, so by lump sum, by agencies, by LGU. So next is positive economics. So talking about positive economics, study how economy works. So statements how the economy works are positive statement, whether they are true or not. So a statement about how the economy works are positive statement. So next, accuracy of positive statements can be tested by looking at the facts and just the facts. So normative economics is study of what should be used to make value judgment, identify problems, and prescribe solutions. Statements that suggest what we should do about economic facts are normative statements. So based on values. So normative statement cannot be proved or disproved by the facts alone. So meaning that is the values and belief of the people. Like example, in Butuan. So when February is approaching, so that is a rainy day. So according to them, based on their belief, because the pista of in Kapagbaran city is fast approaching. So that is for the normative, so based on values. So why economists disagree? In some cases, the disagreement may be positive in nature because our knowledge of the economy is imperfect. So certain facts are in dispute. So in most cases, the disagreement is normative in nature because while the facts may not be in dispute, differing values of economists lead them to the similar conclusions about what should be done. So to understand the world better, you begin to understand the cause of many things that affect your life. To gain self-confidence, you lose that feeling, that mysterious, inexplicable forces are shaping your life for you. So why study economics again? To achieve social change. So like for example, we have put as the climate change. So that is social change because the effect of climate change has a big effect to us. Uh, you'll gain tools to understand the origins of social problems and design more effective solutions. So meaning, talking about social problems, so meaning talking about people in a certain area. So meaning the problem now, so meaning the economics, the economists solve this. So to help prepare for other careers, so we'll discover that a wide range of careers deal with economic issues on many levels. So to become an economist, you'll begin to develop a body of knowledge that could lead you to become an economist in the future. So there are methods of economists. Economists relies heavily on modeling. So meaning modeling that is to prove the model so that you can move your decision making. So economics theories must have a well constructed model. While most models are physical construct, so economists use words, these diagrams, and mathematical statements. So we need for the mathematical statements about the models. There's another discipline of economics called as econometrics. So many econometrics is a mathematical or discipline of economics. So meaning you can prove the situation through by presenting the model. It's a model, abstract representation of reality. So the art of building economics model, so meaning guiding principle of economic model building. So should be as simple as possible to accomplish its purpose. Level of detail that would be just right for one purpose will usually be too much or too little for another. Even complex models are built around a simple framework. So there's assumption and conclusions. So types of assumptions in the economics model. So simplifying assumptions, way of making a model simpler without affecting any of its important conclusions. Critical assumptions. So by using the mathematics. So affect conclusions of a model in important ways. So meaning it affect because in mathematical the figures, the number tells the truth. That's why it affect the conclusions. So if critical assumptions are wrong model will be wrong. All economic models have one or more critical assumptions. So there are two fundamental assumptions. So one, the economy is complex. Why complex? Because it's a lot of social changes. There are a lot of people, so a lot of ideas. Economists make sense of all this activity into states. So first, the decision makers in the economy are divided into three broad groups. So household and business. So next is government agencies. So in microeconomic model, individual household, firms, government agencies. So in macroeconomic model, so household sector, business sector, government sector, and foreign sector. So the next step in understanding the economy is to make two critical assumptions about decision makers. So when decision makers, like for example in Button City, our Sangguniang Panglungsod members is a makers of the policy. So first fundamental assumption. Every economic decision makers tries to make the best out of any assumption. So typically making the best out of situation means maximizing some quantity. Next, while economists often have spirited disagreements about what is being maximized, there is virtually unanimous agreement that an economic model should begin with the assumption that someone is maximizing something. So the first fundamental assumptions seems to imply that we are all engaged in relentless, conscious pursuit of narrow goals. So an application of contradicted by marks of human behavior. So simply, so the contradiction is based on the human behavior. So in truth, we are only rare make decisions with conscious hard calculations. Why then? The economists assume that people make decisions consciously when in reality they open door. So first, a conclusion, this is an important question. So, okay, thank you very much for listening, and I hope you learned a little bit my discussion. If you have some problems and comments, just text me, okay, just email me, okay, just chat me in the Facebook and group chat. Thank you and good day.